Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of trivia, high-stakes wagers, and incredible displays of knowledge, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the latest thrilling episode of Jeopardy! We'll break down the biggest moments, the toughest clues, and the strategies that made all the difference. Did our returning champion continue their impressive streak, or did a new challenger rise to the occasion? Let's find out. The game started off with a bang in the Jeopardy! round. The categories were a fantastic mix, covering everything from world capitals to literary first lines and a fun one called Before and After. Our returning champion, who came in with a 3-day total of over $70,000, immediately went to work, showing their confidence by hunting for the daily double right away. The challengers were no slouches, though. One of them, a librarian from Chicago, quickly proved their expertise in the literature category, rattling off answers with impressive speed. The other, a history professor from California, was a bit more cautious, but demonstrated deep knowledge in the history-themed categories. About halfway through the first round, the game was incredibly tight. All three contestants were within a few $100s of each other. The board was wide open, and the energy was palpable. The before and after category provided some of the most entertaining moments. A clue like a classic John Steinbeck novel about the Joad family's journey, which ends with them opening a fast food franchise, had the contestants laughing. The correct response, The Grapes of Wrath of Khan, was a brilliant piece of wordplay. It's moments like these that make Jeopardy! So much more than just a quiz show. The first commercial break arrived with our champion holding a slight lead, but it was anyone's game. Coming back from the break, the hunt for the first daily double intensified. Our champion, sticking to their aggressive strategy, finally uncovered it under the $800 clue in world capitals, with a lead of just $1,000. They decided to make it a true daily double, betting everything. The clue was, this European capital is the only one in the world whose name in English begins with the letter V, but is not Vienna. A tough one. The seconds ticked by. You could see the concentration on their face. And then, with confidence, they responded, what is Valletta? Correct? The capital of Malta? A huge power move that doubled their score and put significant distance between them and the challengers. That one moment completely changed the dynamic of the round. The rest of the Jeopardy! round saw our champion leverage their newfound lead, playing with a bit more of a defensive strategy. They answered correctly on several high-value clues, solidifying their position, while the two challengers battled it out for second place. The librarian continued to excel in pop culture and arts categories, while the history professor made a late surge in a category about American presidents. By the end of the round, scores were set for the second half. Our champion sat comfortably in the lead, with the librarian in second place and the professor in third, but still very much in the game. It was a masterclass in how a single daily double can define the first half of a Jeopardy! match. The Double Jeopardy! round began, and the stakes were well doubled. The categories were even more challenging this time, with titles like Scientific Ologies, Opera 101, and 19th Century Thinkers. This is where the deep knowledge really comes into play. Our history professor, knowing they needed to make a move, went straight for the high-value clues and immediately found the first daily double of the round. It was under the $1,600 clue in 19th Century Thinkers, trailing significantly. They had no choice but to bet it all. The clue was, this Danish philosopher, often considered the first existentialist, wrote Fear and Trembling under a pseudonym, a real brainbuster if you're not a philosophy buff. After a tense pause, they correctly answered, who is Skrin Kierkegaard? What a comeback. Their score instantly shot up, putting them right back in contention and making the champion look over their shoulder. The game was on. The champion, unfazed, responded by methodically working through their strongest categories. They showed incredible breadths of knowledge in scientific ologies, correctly identifying everything from euology, the study of eggs, to campanology, the study of bells. But the second daily double was still lurking on the board, the librarian, who had been playing a steady game. Found it under the $1,200 clue in Opera 101. This was their chance to leapfrog into second, or even challenge for the lead. They wagered a substantial amount, enough to make a real difference. The clue. The title character of this Puccini opera is a geisha in Nagasaki, who marries an American naval officer. A classic of the genre. They confidently responded. What is Madama Butterfly? Correct. The board was reset once again, and with only a few clues left, we had a genuine three-person race heading into Final Jeopardy. What an incredible finish to the Double Jeopardy round. The final few clues were a flurry of activity, with all three contestants buzzing in. The lead changed hands a couple of times in the final minute. It was a nail-biter, exactly what we love to see. As the music signaled the end of the round, the scores were locked in. Our returning champion managed to cling to the lead with just over $20,000. The history professor was in a strong second place with $16,000, and the librarian was in third with a very respectable $10,000. This set up a fascinating Final Jeopardy scenario. Everyone had enough money to potentially win, depending on their wagers, and of course the final clue itself. The category for Final Jeopardy was revealed. American landmarks. A broad and potentially tricky category. The contestants scribbled down their wagers during the commercial break, and you could feel the tension in the studio. What would your strategy be? Do you bet at all? Do you bet just enough to cover the person behind you? The music started, and the clue was revealed, dedicated in 1886. The poem The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus is mounted inside the pedestal of this landmark. A famous clue, but one that requires you to connect the poem to the monument under pressure. 30 seconds on the clock. The contestants wrote down their responses, their faces a mixture of confidence and concern. Let's see the results, starting with our librarian in third place. They correctly wrote down, "What is the Statue of Liberty?" Their wager doubled their score. A great finish. Now for our history professor in second. They also got it right. What is the Statue of Liberty? Their wager was strategic betting enough to pass the champion if the champion got it wrong. Pressure was now squarely on our returning champion. Did they know it? Ken Jennings revealed their response. And yes, they also wrote, "What is the Statue of Liberty?" A triple get. It all came down to the wagers. The champion had wagered just enough to cover the professor's maximum possible score. It was a textbook example of smart betting. By a narrow margin, our champion secured their fourth victory. What a game. It was a battle of wits, strategy, and nerve, right down to the final second. And that's a wrap on another fantastic episode of Jeopardy! Congratulations to our champion for another hard-fought win, and a huge round of applause for the challengers who made it such an exciting and competitive game. What was your favorite moment? Did you get Final Jeopardy? Right, let me know down in the comments below. I love reading your thoughts and discussing the game with all of you. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more recaps like this, please give this video a thumbs up, and more importantly, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of Jeopardy!